Hope you're not sick of cookies yet. I have such love for the cookie book that I wanted to start trying more of the recipes inside. So today I'm going to be making golden carrot cookies. When I first saw this recipe, I thought, oh, carrot cookies, like carrot cake. No, this recipe contains cooked mashed carrots. So I'm thinking maybe more like a pumpkin kind of situation. The description of this cookie really sealed the deal for me. Mysterious flavor. And I just had to make them. So I have my butter and shortening together. It said you could use both, and I find that I've had success doing that with the cookies in this cookbook. I have my sugar, my mashed cooked carrots. I used canned carrots, and I understand there's salt in canned carrots. I did rinse these off, but I didn't want to have to cut up carrots and steam them and whatnot. So we'll see if this works. And I have 1 egg here. Ooh. Yes, okay. Cream all of that together. I understand that usually you would cream together the sugar and the butter or the shortening before you add those other ingredients. I am following the recipe exactly. It said mix those 4 ingredients together. So yes, I probably would have just done the butter and the sugar together because now it's kind of like that. So I'm gonna mix it a little bit longer, see if I can get this to come together a bit more. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. I am trusting Betty's process here. And now for the dry ingredients. That is flour, measured by Betty Crocker's dipping method. A lot of the recipes in this book say exactly how you're supposed to measure the flour, which I appreciate. My baking powder and my salt here. Mix that into the flour. So just to blend this mixture in, I am gonna do it gradually. This recipe comes to us from the Cookies for Children section of the book. So I don't know if this is an attempt to get kids to eat vegetables. If you've made these carrot cookies, I'd love to hear about it and see, did you like them? I have shredded coconut. I opted for sweetened coconut because there's not like a ton of sugar in here. Oh my gosh, so springy. What a lovely pastel orange. And speaking of orange, after these are baked and cooled, I'll be icing them with like an orange cream icing. So I think these are gonna be good. This is very soft, kind of loose, more batter-like than dough-like. Time to scoop. Got my scoop. This is a 1 teaspoon scoop, and that's what it says in the book. Drop these by teaspoons full, about 2 inches apart on lightly greased baking sheets. I am using a silicone baking mat, so I don't wanna grease my baking sheets, because I'm lazy. These go into a 400-degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna start with 8 minutes and see what that gets us. So here's what they look like straight from the oven, just very lightly browned. 8 minutes was just perfect. It was the right amount of time for my oven. Your mileage may vary, just keep an eye on them. But the way to tell that they're done is just sort of lightly touch them on the top. And if there's no indentation that kind of stays in there, that's when they're done. You don't want to burn these. These are very little, like cakey kind of cookies. And I'm kind of delighted by these and also the mint meltaways I made. If you haven't watched that video yet, please do. I will link it in the description down below. But they're like little tiny, dainty little cookies. I mean, I love it. So I'm gonna continue to scoop and bake these, let them cool, and then I'll come back and add that orange icing. Now that the cookies are all baked and cooled, it's time to move on to the icing. The recipe recommends an orange butter icing that is in a completely separate section of the cookbook. It's like kind of toward the back with all of the various icings. This is a butter icing with multiple variations. We're gonna be making the orange one. And I went back and forth on whether or not I should make a full batch of icing or half batch to go with my half batch of cookies. Ultimately, I decided to cut the recipe in half. So I will have the full recipe for these cookies and the icing in the description down below. Very soft butter. I lost my powdered sugar, it's over there. So it's pretty simple, butter, powdered sugar. If you were making the regular variation, you'd have cream and vanilla. Instead, because we're making an orange variation, I have a little bit of orange juice and some orange rind. Actually, this is mandarin orange rind. Also, can we appreciate this teeny little like juicer that measures by the teaspoon and tablespoon? My mom got this for me for Christmas and I've used it so many times already. If I can find one, I will link it in the description down below, but it's so nice. If you just need like a tiny, tiny bit of lemon juice, orange juice, lime juice. Blend butter and sugar together. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and add my liquid because it needs it. Orange zest. All right, very easy, very fast. And I just made that little tiny bit because I just have, you know, tiny amount of cookies. And honestly, full disclosure, I did try one without the icing and they're really delicious by themselves. So I may not ice all of these. Yeah, let's go for the butterfly gold plate. They're so tiny. I guess you could get really fancy if you're gonna make more icing, and you could probably pipe this in like a little star shape or something. I'm gonna go pretty simple. I don't even want a lot of icing on each one. Oops, and they're sliding around as they always do. Aren't they cute? See, they're pretty, I mean, they're really small. You can see how tiny they are compared to my hands. But they're really like cakey inside. I'm gonna try one with the icing for the very first time here. Ooh, that's so good. Very good. I don't taste the carrot a whole lot. I don't get a mysterious flavor as stated in the recipe. Just kind of a light, cakey cookie. That's a really hard thing to say. Tiny, tiny bit of tiny, tiny bit of crispness on the bottom. And then you get that pop of orange with the icing. And then the coconut gives everything just like a little added interest in the texture. I can't believe it's taken me this long to branch out and try more cookies from the Cooky Book, but I will definitely be making more videos because there are so many in this book to try. If you want to hear me talk at length about how much I love the Cooky Book and do a flip through of the book itself, I do have a video of that from Christmas 2021. I'll link it in the description down below. It's one of my absolute favorite books. I think everyone should have a copy. Also, if you love vintage Betty Crocker recipes like I do, I have an entire playlist and I'll link that in the description down below. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you have friends or family who like videos like this, please consider sharing it with them because it really does help my channel get in front of a larger audience. Thanks again for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye.